This is Real Estate Stocks and Jocks with your host, former Buckeye linebacker and current real estate business consultant, Obie Stillwell. Over the next hour, you'll get balanced, clear, and insightful information relating to the real estate industry, the financial sector, plus interviews with current and former athletes who impact Columbus and the state of Ohio beyond the game. Real Estate Stocks and Jocks is sponsored by Hondros College. And now, here's your host, Obie Stillwell.
Hello. Welcome to Real Estate Stocks and Jocks. Again, my name is Obie Stillwell. Come on and groove with me a little bit. Kiara Gold is the name of this song.
Don't care what you said to me, I'ma bite your feelings out. I miss you in the basement, but your brother was a good substitute for you. And if you love me, but you never let me go. When the roof was on fire, you never let me know. Say you're sorry, honey, but you never really show. And I can leave the party without ever letting you know.
Kiara Gold.
Without ever letting you know.
And that thing just grooves, man. It just got a nice, it just makes you want to go out and dance on that one right there. Alan, would you dance on that one right there?
You don't want to see me dance.
No.
Not that I wouldn't want to.
Right.
It would.
It's not pretty.
I'm a floor killer.
Right. You just stand in the corner and bob your head, man. You know what I mean? It's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I can do that. I can do that.
You can do that.
Yeah.
All right.
I do have some rhythm. I mean,
right.
I play guitar. I'm a musician.
Yeah. But does it translate to your feet? That's the thing. No? Okay. All right.
Okay. I was a lineman.
Right.
You know?
Hey, you're listening to Real Estate Stocks and Jocks. Thank you so much for joining me this weekend. We have a great show coming up. We have the superintendent for Reynoldsburg High School and Reynoldsburg School, actually City School District. He is the superintendent, Melvin J Brown. So you got to stick around and hear what's going on in the community of Reynoldsburg. Obviously, being a real estate agent, if you are not involved in some community at some level, you're missing out. So you want to make sure that you're digging in and meeting some of these individuals, whether it's superintendents, teachers, and whether athletic directors or what have you, that these are people that are making sure that school system, right? When people go to buy a home, most of the time, if there's a family, they have kids involved, what are they asking? They're like, well, how's the school district, right? And you have people who are relocating, they're asking, how's the school district? Well, I think Reynoldsburg kind of took a little dip there for a minute, a little decline. I know there's some businesses or some different factors that occurred. But man, they are doing some amazing things now. And I actually saw this gentleman, Mr. Brown, on television, and he just seemed to have so much passion, about what he was speaking of and about these students, about the community of Reynoldsburg, and the students' future. So I was like, I gotta have that guy on Real Estate Stocks and Jocks. So that's why he's coming on. And then also, if you remember, okay, think just a little far back, not too far back, but former quarterback Stan Jackson, number 8 in your program, number 1 in your heart, and he was on the Rose Bowl team, 1997 Rose Bowl team, and actually started that game. Though I know Joe Germain is most noted for throwing that last touchdown to David Boston. Stan Jackson actually started that game and had led the Buckeyes through an undefeated season until Coach Cooper switched them out in the Michigan game. That was interesting. So, but we won't go all the way there. Okay, we'll just talk about, what's going on now. Stan is with Big Ten Network, doing some really, really cool things. He's been there for, I believe, about 5 years or so, and so he's doing some cool things there. You really want to listen in because he has some crazy, ridiculous insight on not only Ohio State but also the conference. So it'd be interesting to hear his picks top 3 picks, top 5 or what have you teams in the conference. And then also I want to know, I'm going to ask him, I want to know who his sleeper team is. What team out there in the conference is going to do some things, the team that's going to do some things that maybe people will not expect. So got a great show coming up. I want to talk to you a little bit, just inform you a little bit. We have Buckeye National Realty Team has actually opened up our license of Douglas and Associates, have opened up our license in Mansfield. So we joined the Board of Realtors in Mansfield, Ohio. So we actually have a listing too right away. That's awesome, cool. We have a listing, 241 Cedarwood Drive in Mansfield, Ohio. That's in Lexington School District. It's a 3-bedroom with the potential of 4 in the lower level, 1.5 bath. It's a great area, quiet, beautiful, quiet area. There's an outdoor space you can get to from the dining area, which leads into the great deck. To a great deck for a relaxing, entertaining. Purchase price we have the purchase price at $117,500, and it is potentially a short sale, so it may be subject to the bank's approval. So just keep that in mind. The last 5 homes that I've had on the market sold in less than 30 days. So certainly give me a call if you're looking to list your home. Also, Nest Court, 2394 Nest Court, spectacular home, almost 6,000 square feet, is 2-story home in Woodland Glen, the Woodland Glen neighborhood of Powell. So definitely check that out. It's 1 acre, and that one's listed at $777. But it has, absolutely everything. Spacious first floor master, custom closet organizer, central vacuum system, wonderful outdoor kitchen and entertainment, including landscape and hardscape, almost 2,000 square feet of livable space in the lower level. Yes, almost 2,000 square feet of livable space in the lower level. Also, has a state-of-the-art movie theater with seating for 9. So definitely check that one out. Again, that's in Powell, in the Woodland Glen neighborhood of Powell. Also coming up, we have a home in Black Lake. This one is Licking Heights Schools. It's about 1,900, a little over 1,900 square feet, also almost 2,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and the property was built in 2003. Also have another home in Black Lake that's going to come on the market. That one's about a little over about 1,700 square feet, and that one also in Licking County Schools, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Yeah, let's definitely reach out to me, 614-822-6990 if you have any real estate questions. Also, if you are looking to become a real estate agent, give me a call, 614-822-6990. If you have any questions, you want to sit down, have some coffee, get some tea. I'm not that big of a tea guy. I'm not even that big of a coffee guy, really. So what I like to do is just have you come by the office, just come see the office, and then we're going to have a very, very aggressive commission plan.
I've heard you like food.
Yeah, I do love food, like First Watch more specifically. So that's a little plug for First Watch because I love breakfast. But I want you to see the office. So come by the office. Again, 614-822-6990. We are located in Gahanna. So I would love to go over our comp plan for you. And then also, if you are maybe you want to get your real estate license and you're just not sure where to start, give me a call, 614-822-6990. I'm actually meeting with a lady this week. So I'm excited about that. And then also, last but not least, if you are looking to buy or sell a home, give me a call, 614-822-6990. Again, we have a great show coming up. I'm really excited for our guest. So just stick around. We're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
And the roof was on fire, you never let me know. Say you're sorry, honey, but you
Hello, and welcome back to Real Estate Stocks and Jocks. Again, my name is Obie Stillwell. Give me a call with any of your real estate questions, 614-822-6990. I am happy to be in the studio with Melvin J Brown. He is the superintendent of Reynoldsburg City Schools. And Melvin, thank you so much for being on Real Estate Stocks and Jocks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I actually saw Melvin on television, and I don't know what station necessarily it was, but I saw you on television, and I just enjoyed listening to you. And some of the things that you were saying, and you seemed authentic. It seemed very real, and I was like, you know what, I gotta get that guy on Real Estate Stocks and Jocks. So I appreciate you responding to our request. So tell me a little bit, tell our listeners a little bit about where you're from and what motivated you to get into education.
Okay. I grew up in Westmoreland County, Virginia, which is a really small rural area of the northern neck of Virginia. And during that time, I was able to engage with a lot of educators who played a role in my upbringing and my development as a person. And didn't necessarily graduate planning to go into education. I kind of backed into education.
Okay.
I was a tutor with the Upward Bound program, of which I was also a student when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And we had an opportunity one summer they approached me about teaching an English course during the summer with some of our kids. And I was like, hey, why not? I'll check that out. And I had a ball. Really? I had an absolute ball. And I got back to James Madison University that following fall and said, I'm going to be an English major. I'm going into education, and I'm going to do what I can to change kids' lives.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
That's really what triggered it.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And so what got you to Ohio?
Interesting question. In Virginia, I was an elementary principal, a middle school principal, an associate superintendent down in Prince William County, Virginia, which is very large, but we had about 100,000 kids at the time. And I came to Ohio with the notion of changing the world and working with the charter school movement. I worked with a charter school management company for about 3 years and supervised schools in Ohio and North Carolina. And that was going to be my way to impact the world and change things for certain communities. And then, once I was in that for a little bit, for about 2 years or so, I started to miss the traditional public school sector. That's essentially what brought me to Ohio, was with that company. And then slowly I migrated back to traditional public education as the director of human resources in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. I was in their deputy superintendent there for 2 years following that. And then that brought me here to Reynoldsburg.
Wow. So, you know what? I I want to hit on it just a little bit because I know there's a number of chartered schools, right? And it really became really popular just a few years ago.
Sure.
And that was like the thing to do, is send your kids to the chartered schools, what have you. But then there's been this, I don't want to call it a mass exodus, but it's been somewhat of an exodus into the traditional aspect of school. What about the chartered schools? Maybe what were they missing? What mark did they not hit that made people maybe gravitate back to the traditional aspect of education?
Well, let me preface that with there are very good charter schools and very bad ones. Just like there are good public schools and bad public schools.
Very good.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
I always subscribe to the notion that charter schools provided some competition because they have some additional flexibility. They aren't necessarily held within the realms of local control, so to speak, or some of the federal mandates and things of that nature. But I've always so said that I welcome the competition because if we're doing the things we're supposed to do as a school district and for our kids, then charter schools wouldn't exist. So if they're in a situation where they exist, that means there's a need. Yeah. And there's a need for kids to have access to something that's going to give them the type of education they're looking for. As far as the recent controversies, I think there are a number of institutions that haven't necessarily played by the rules, so to speak, and those things are being found. But the vast majority of them are doing good things for kids every day. There's some very good charter schools that are out there. So I would never disparage the whole industry, so to speak.
Right. Now, that makes sense. What about the traditional aspect of education attracted you back to it?
I like the idea of building community. I like it when our community is behind us and we're with them, building a strong community that makes our schools stronger. My goal is always to help produce kids who are going to be citizens of our community and of the world, so to speak. And I like the aspect of being able to connect with local city governments and the police and fire departments and chambers of commerce and things of that nature. I enjoy them
real
playing a
estate
role.
agents.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the stronger we make our communities, our schools have to be strong and vice versa. I enjoy that aspect of it. In the charter world, you don't have as much of that, although a little bit of that exists.
Right. Because people are coming from all various communities and all that stuff, so it's kind of hard to necessarily connect. With just with just one.
Absolutely. In my role, when I was with the charter industry, a lot of my role was to seek new charter openings. I had to do real estate ideas and go out and look at sites and negotiate contracts. And I just missed at that time. I missed the education. I missed the teaching aspects and what teaching and learning looks like in classrooms. Those are things that I desperately missed and wanted to come back to traditional ed to do that.
And it's so important to build that community. Myself, I live in Gahanna. My kids go to Gahanna School. My daughter's graduated from Gahanna. One thing I don't like about the Gahanna community is not the community itself, but it's the way that people cherry pick from some of the schools, other schools that are whether it's Hartley or St. Charles, everybody wants to try to get their kid in the best place for the best education. But at the same time, it pulls, whether it's Columbus Academy, Hartley, St. Charles, it pulls from, not only from the sports pool, but some of your top educated students that are really succeeding in the classroom. It pulls from that community also. So and I'm from Mansfield. I went to Madison High School in Mansfield, Ohio, and so the community was the community. So the community that you lived in was the high school that you were going to go to. And so from the age from first, second grade, third, fourth, what have you, going to the high school football games, you were aspiring to play on that field, or play on the court or in basketball or what have you. So it just really galvanized the community. It just really brought everybody together. So those are the things that I hear you're saying as it pertains to Reynoldsburg, because and then now as a realtor, I really understand the importance of community, and it seems like Reynoldsburg is on an upswing because things kind of were kind of on a downswing for a while there. But it seems like things are on an upswing. Why is that? What would you attribute that to?
Historically, there was some industry lost a number of years ago, and I think there's a recovery in that we're rounding out our real estate market a bit. Our schools are doing some really innovative things, and that attracts business and industry to come back. So I think we're building that up. We have a pretty good connection with our Chamber of Commerce and with our city government, and we're all working together to galvanize the community to make all of us better, not to just focus on one area. To go back and reference your points about private schools or what have you. I have never had an issue with someone who wants to choose a traditional, we're going to get this Catholic school because this is where I went. My kids are going. I have no issue with that whatsoever. Or with someone who does it for faith purposes or what have you. My issue has always been, if you're choosing that education because you think you're going to get a better education, then I want to make sure we're doing something in the traditional public realm that shows you that you're not. You're going to get what you need with us. And so that's what we always strive to do every day.
You know what, Melvin? Talk a little bit about that. Again, with Melvin Brown. He is the superintendent of Reynoldsburg City Schools. And talk to a little bit about some of the unique educational experiences that Reynoldsburg offers.
Okay. We have, with our STEM pipeline, we have the only STEM pipeline from K to 12
what's
throughout.
STEM?
STEM is, we're talking about focus on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Got it.
Using that and giving kids real problem-based learning opportunities.
That's a huge push.
Absolutely.
Nationally,
yes,
right?
It is. Absolutely. And we have some schools that kind of focus on those areas, but all of our other schools also use strategies that allow kids to get authentic learning opportunities and make real world problem solving situations that give them a sense of they're just getting book knowledge. They're getting experience. They're getting exposure to the world. They're getting a sense of how their education plays a role in the future development of society.
Real quick, when you say they're getting experience, what do you mean by that specifically?
Like, for example, let's say we were going to do a project on water conservation.
Okay.
That would be a problem-based learning activity. And our kids will come up with ideas and brainstorm and network and collaborate to come up with ways to use some of the resources around us to build that project, and perhaps come up with something that the city government will then say, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. We're going to implement that.
So you're not saying network just within the school. You're saying network within the community to come up with an idea or solution for their project.
Absolutely.
Wow.
We look to partner with businesses in the community. We want them to play a role. And we want I'll give you another example. We just, we're in the process of constructing a new YMCA in Reynoldsburg.
Okay.
Well, the city council's reached out to us and the Y. They want our kids to be part of the design process of that.
Wow.
So they're going to be involved in projects that allow them to watch this thing come from very fruition to their ideas being integrated into that program.
No, that's powerful. And then so you said you have 2 campuses.
Correct.
And you have 4 academies within those 2. So 2 and 2.
Correct.
So tell me, so you have the STEM program and then there's 3 other?
Yeah, we have eSTEM and Encore, which are both on our summer campus.
Okay.
eSTEM obviously focuses on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics and problem-based learning.
Right.
Encore is an arts focused type thing where we're talking about theater arts, fine arts, what have you. And then on the Livingston campus, we have Bell Academy, which is business, education, law, and leadership.
Wow.
And then we have HS Squared, which is human and public service, and health and human services. So we're talking about the medical industry and things of that nature.
That's great. I can't believe how I can't imagine how you are remembering all this stuff, man. But you are doing an amazing job. And like I said, I saw you on TV, and it's good when your passion can come through the camera. Absolutely. And come into the home. And that's the thing that I picked up on. Obviously, I'm a real estate agent, so I care about community, and I also care about education. But I enjoy watching someone like you who comes in with passion and purpose for our kids and their future. So thanks again so much for being on Real Estate Stocks and Jocks. Will you come back?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Happy to.
Yeah, I know you're busy, but I definitely want to have you back on before the year's out, okay?
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Hey, you're listening to Real Estate Stocks and Jocks. That was Melvin Brown. He'll be back. He said he'll be back. Stick around for the 3rd and 4th quarter. We'll be right back. Hello, and welcome back to Real Estate Stocks and Jocks. Again, my name is Obie Stillwell. Give me a call with any of your real estate questions, 614-822-6990. I have in studio former quarterback of your Ohio State Buckeyes, Stanley Jackson. Stan Jackson, thanks for being on Real Estate Stocks and Jocks.
Give a little more history about the business I used to give you in practice. Don't stop short there. We played together. Let them know we played together. I used to give you fits in practice. Now, folks, listen. I've been on this show before, and he's going to bring up one play. Watch. It's the same play that he brought up last time.
No, listen. What I'm saying is that you gave me fits. I gave you fits too. Period.
With an S?
Gave you
with an S?
Yes, more than one for sure.
No, yeah, one play.
More than one.
One play. I remember one play. One play.
Hey, listen, I remember underestimating your speed on the sidelines. When I knew I had you in the alley. and I was about to lay you out. Because, everybody's like, oh, you got to be sensitive, got to be don't hit the quarterbacks. For some reason, when you hit Bobby, it was a problem. When you hit Stan, it wasn't so much a problem.
Some reason. You know the reason.
Stan was known for coming out the pocket or whatever. So I thought, and you put it in a little different gear. I don't know if you still got that gear now.
I'm 240 pounds. I don't have that gear.
Well, you put it in a different gear, man, and you got away from me, and I was like, okay, yeah. I was like, this dude is next.
I run from you though.
Yeah. You right now?
Oh yeah. Right now, these soft sole shoes. Absolutely.
Hey, you would not run from me.
Oh,
there's no way.
I don't remember the last time you ran. I can look at you and tell.
Listen, I'm telling you, you can't run away from me because I wouldn't chase you. I would never chase you right now. And you would probably be. You'd probably be exhausted. I don't know. Could you run 50 yards right now, a full sprint?
Listen, man, I'm a youth football coach. I coach the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th grade. Absolutely. I run all the time. I run with them all the time. Yeah.
Okay.
I run with them all the time.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to have to take the camera crew out there with us, and we're going to try to see. We want to see how you run that 50 because I got a feeling if he took off to run a 50 by the 15 or 20-yard line, we would see a hamstring on the field.
I'm good.
Or Achilles, something would
I'm
fall
still
off.
active, man.
Okay,
I play basketball with the boys, everything. Okay. I'm still active.
All right.
My kids are young. I can't let them beat me yet.
Yeah, that's true. See, mine, and 20, 16,
you're
13.
Done. Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
They're outrunning you and everything.
Yeah. I'm eating ice cream while they running.
I know Kobe's outrunning you. I know that's a done deal.
That's what he thinks. And Kellen actually just challenged me this week. He's like, Dad, I want to race you.
You got a problem.
I said, no.
If he beats you in the 7th grade, you got a problem.
You might be right, but he won't beat me, and Kobe won't either. I guarantee you. So if he starts beating me, if we was running a 40 and he starts beating me at 20, I said, hey, listen, I thought we was just running 20. I beat you at 20. I beat you at 20. The first 20.
Have that plan in your mind because it's gonna happen.
Hey, Stan. So listen, man, you are doing some pretty cool things, man, out there on Big Ten Network. Dropping your knowledge and your information, and how has that transition been? Because how long have you been with them now?
5 years.
Five years, and you've evolved in that role. I see they're giving you the mic more and more. Tell me how you got involved in that, and then just kind of the maturation process.
Well, how I got involved was really happenstance, to be honest with you. I think it speaks volumes about just being prepared.
Okay.
Because you never know when your opportunity is going to come.
Right.
And so I've been working in local radio here on 610 for years. And I just got a call out of the blue about the Big Ten Network coming in and wanting to do a piece on 90s football.
Oh, wow.
Not just Ohio State, but the conference. And they needed somebody from Ohio State to come out and talk about, the era we played.
Yeah.
And so I did the interview and went well. And at the end of it, the producer was like, man, you're pretty good at this. You do broadcasts? I said, I do a little radio. It's like, you're pretty good. You should think about doing more of it.
Really?
I said, hey, man, you give me a shot, I'm ready to go. So maybe a year and a half later, I got a call out of the blue. Like, hey, man, you ready to try this with the network? Then we get you in for an interview. It's just out of the blue.
Wow.
And went out, did the interview. This was 2012. Did it. Felt like I didn't do great, honestly.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it was a new environment, new experience, maybe a little nerves, and didn't hear from them. So I was like, yeah.
Did you have to read off the teleprompters? Did they have those? So it's just
They have teleprompters, but that's typically for the host. That's not for the analyst.
Okay,
you know
got
what I mean? And some shows allow that, but I don't do that. I don't like to do that. I've done it a couple times. I just don't. I'm uncomfortable doing that. That takes reps too.
Yeah.
But it hadn't heard from it in a year. I thought, man, I knew I bombed that daggone interview. Out of the blue again, 2013. July, I get a call.
Really?
Says, hey, you ready to go? We're going to bring you on.
Man, they treat you like the league.
Mm-hmm.
It just let it.
It's a tough environment. Go. Look, you're in broadcasting.
Yeah,
everybody wants to do it. Right? Locally, radio,
and everybody believes they can do it.
Everybody believes they can do it.
Right.
Locally, there's not a whole lot of money in it, right? And so you got to make choices if you're a family man.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to sacrifice. I sacrificed for years in radio and just learning my craft under Earl Bruce, under Matt McCoy. And it helps. The radio absolutely helps the television, and I think the key is just. Like any profession, right? And title, and real estate.
Right.
If I'm coming to you because I want you to sell my house, I need you to know the market.
Right.
I need you to understand how to get this house sold.
Yeah.
And if you do, I'm going to go at you. If you don't, I'm probably not.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's dive in. I want to dive. We got like 3 minutes in this particular segment. We're gonna come back, but real quick, let's dive into this Buckeye football and this Big Ten conference. Who in the conference? Let's still start with the conference first. Who's your top three in the conference? Even with what happened with Ohio State and Oklahoma, with all the information that you have now, who's your top three?
That's a good question. I would say Penn State is number one. They've been my number one all year long. I mean, in my mind, it's tough to say they're not. They beat Ohio State head-to-head. They won the Big Ten last year. Right. All their offense is back. Saquon Barkley, arguably the best back in the country.
Yep.
Trace McSorley's a special guy. Gesicki, probably the best pass-catching tight end.
Yeah.
Kabinda is healthy at linebacker. So they're a good team.
Right.
And then, so they're number one. After that, it gets pretty muddy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think I've got a tie for the next 3 teams at 2.
Huh.
And that would include Michigan, Ohio State, and Wisconsin.
Okay.
Wisconsin's got this freshman back that's really been lighting it up. He's got almost 300 yards rushing in 2 games. Alex Hornibrook is now their starting quarterback. They can run the ball, but they've got their 3rd coordinator in 3 years.
Okay.
And I think you'll see a drop-off defensively. We see how good, T.J. Watt has been for the Steelers, right? 2 sacks and a pick last week. He's starting. They lost Jack Sitchie this year to a knee injury. So you can't continue to lose talent like that and play at a high level. So I think their defense will fall off a tad bit.
Okay.
Michigan's defense replaced 10 players.
Right, yeah.
10 starters, 8 of them in the NFL.
Right.
But they picked up right where they left off.
3 first-rounders?
3 first-rounders.
Yeah.
Taco, a local kid out of Pickerington, is one of those first-rounders, right? The Cleveland Browns picked up Peppers, a Jersey kid.
Right.
And they've picked up right where they left off defensively. They've got a couple kids that played a lot last year, but offensively they've got some struggles.
Defensively, did they have, was Florida good enough test? They had 8 players missing from that game.
Yeah, but only 2 of those players were guys that would have contributed to Florida's success. Defensively, Florida's pretty good. Their offense isn't.
Okay.
And so I felt like Michigan would win that game anyway, even with those 8 players.
Okay.
They've got an issue at quarterback. They got Malik Zaire. They got the freshman there. They couldn't solve it. I didn't think they'd score on Michigan. So, no, that wasn't a great test. It's not as tough as the Big Ten test. It's not as tough as the Oklahoma test that Ohio State got.
Right, okay.
I think Florida was probably a little overrated.
So you have
so Penn State's sitting up there by themselves. Ohio State, Michigan, and Wisconsin are jumbled in a group of the next group right there. In my opinion.
Wow. All right, and again, we're gonna come back because I want to dig into this. Who's your sleeper though? Before we take our break,
Maryland.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna say Maryland.
Yeah, and I picked them at the beginning of the year.
Really?
I had 2 sleepers.
Really?
One of them fall completely apart. No, it's not Iowa. I thought Northwestern would be good this year.
Okay.
I really did.
Okay.
They got Justin Jackson back as a senior. He's been the most consistent back in the conference for 4 years.
All right, we'll be back. We're going to take a break. We're going to pay some bills with some commercial breaks. You're listening to Real Estate Stocks and Jocks. I have my buddy here, former quarterback, number 1 in your heart, number 8 in your program, Stan Jackson. We'll be right back with some Buckeye football and catch up with Stan and what he's doing in his career.
This is Stan Jackson, former Buckeye quarterback, and this is my guy, Obie Stillwell.
Hello, and welcome back to Real Estate Stocks and Jocks. Again, I'm here with former teammate Stan Jackson, who is Stan is actually a founding partner with Buckeye Nation.
Buckeye State Bank.
Buckeye State Bank. Thank you. And also is an analyst on the Big Ten Network. So that's been pretty cool. And are you doing radio?
Just started my own radio show.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to talk about the radio because I want you listening to 98.9. But go ahead. No,
we
I'm
come
joking.
on different days,
go ahead.
though, right?
Yeah.
You're on Saturday here, aren't you? Have you
Saturday
changed?
and Sunday. Saturday, Sunday. So Saturdays at 10 and then 5 p.m. and then Sundays at 9 a.m.
Perfect. So then Monday through Friday, you can get me on 105.7 Jackson and McCoy. We just started this week.
105.7.
105.7. The Zone.
Awesome. And I think you guys are going to have me on there maybe in 2 weeks, I think.
Sometime soon.
Okay. See, there we go. We good. So your sleeper, Maryland. Okay. Maryland looked great against Texas, but Texas is struggling, though. Texas
won big this past weekend, though.
Who they beat?
I can't remember who they beat, but they put up 40-plus points.
Okay.
Much better.
Okay.
Hey, look, this Maryland team is good. Now, when I say dark horse, I don't think they're ready to compete for a Big Ten title. Right? So I don't think they'll beat Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, but they will be very competitive.
Okay.
And if you don't respect them, they'll beat you.
Right.
77% of their defense
Maryland's
back.
coming here, though.
Yeah,
that's going to be different. I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything.
Well, they'll be competitive.
Okay.
They'll be competitive.
Okay.
Just like Indiana has been in the past, right? I mean, just like Northwestern was last year.
Right.
And for a number of reasons. One, they got a defensive-minded head coach in DJ Durkin, and they got 77% of that defense back from a year ago. You got a MAC linebacker there as good as any in the conference.
Really?
Yes, makes plays. Offensively, they got a true freshman playing now, Kasim Hill, 4-star guy out of the D.C. Baltimore area, about 6'3", 225 pounds, and has got a big gun and can run. And then they've got arguably one of the more explosive backs in the country. Ty Johnson last year averaged 9.1 yards a carry in this conference.
Wow.
Last game that I called their game against Towson, 24 yards a carry, 5 carries, average 24 yards a carry, a touchdown.
Yeah.
And he's been doing it because against Texas, he averaged 11 yards a carry.
See, here's now I'm going to go back a little bit. Against the Penn State game, and it's so hard, it's so hard to say that the home team's going to lose, okay? But we were at Penn State and on Football Fever, and I said, I don't know about this game. And I said, I don't know about this. If you're betting, I don't know about this game. Now, the reason why, the significance of Penn State is the fact that, one, McSorley, right? Mobile quarterback, and he can throw. And he just has that Baker Mayfield type of swag, The X factor is Say. They call him Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley.
Almost was named Tupac.
You said what?
He was almost named Tupac.
Was he?
His dad's a big Tupac fan. And almost named him Tupac.
Really?
How about that? Yep.
So here's one of the reasons why I started following Saquon is because of how highly Ezekiel Elliott talked about him and thought of him, and really liked how he played. Also, he takes the signature leap when he's running. He'll jump over you. He has the power to run through you.
He's the
and
real
then got
deal.
the legs to jump over you.
He's the full package.
Yeah.
5th in the nation right now in total yards. He's returning kicks as well. He's been great out of the backfield.
Yeah.
And he's a special player.
Yeah, he's a team guy. He's a
true junior, by the way.
True junior?
Yes. He'll be done after this year. He had to come back for this season.
Wow. Yeah. Because it was the super sophomores last year.
Right.
That's what I was concerned with that. So now here's the other thing: is that Penn State has been considered linebacker U, right? They did not have their linebackers in place
until that game.
Until that particular game.
Bell and Kabinda had been out.
Yes. Penn State had a lot of momentum going into that game. It was a home game. Coach Franklin, he needed a signature win. He hadn't had a signature win until then. He was on the hot seat. Yeah.
Had he lost that game and had the season not turned out the way it did, he'd probably been gone.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And everybody in the stadium knew that.
But that was their springboard game. I mean, listen, I don't think you're probably the only one that felt that way. I think going into that game, everybody felt like Ohio State would handle them. And remember, Michigan absolutely demolished them by 39 points.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Pitt beat them.
Right. Yep.
And so, they had 2 losses already. The defense was dismal. The offensive line, the production wasn't there. And even in that game, if you go back to that game, they didn't do anything special. They weren't dominant on offense. They got a lucky drive at the end of the half, which we should have got off the field. We did not.
Right.
Chris Godwin really started to emerge in that game.
Yeah.
And then it was the special teams that got us.
It was. But the thing is that they stayed in the fight.
They kept it close.
They just kept it close.
They kept it close.
That was what was, and I knew it was. I think it was 3 linebackers that returned that game.
It was 2.
It was 2.
Kabinda and Bell.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
2 linebackers returned that game, and they were hungry.
Their defense has been different since they've been back.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually had picked Ohio State, and it's hard to do this for this season. I said Ohio State may potentially lose 2 games. In the 2 games that I had them before the preseason, I said they may lose Penn State and Michigan. And I said I'm more nervous on Penn State than I am for Michigan, though Michigan is right there. Like I'm a little concerned with us going in to Ann Arbor because they've been very, very, very close.
Yeah, I'm less concerned about Michigan than I am Penn State. I didn't see Oklahoma coming.
I didn't see that at all.
But here's the good news. Urban Meyer, number one, has never won a national championship undefeated.
Right.
He's got to lose. And a part of that is once you lose a game, now it's easier to get the guys to buy into your message.
Yeah.
I told you. You don't listen, we're going to get smacked.
Right.
Well, we just got smacked at home, right? So now you circle the wagons and everybody plays better.
Right.
So I think Ohio State is going to get a lot better from here on out.
Okay.
I don't see the issue with Michigan, even going to Ann Arbor. It's always a tough game. You never know what happens. We were always better than them.
Yeah.
We lost those games.
Always.
But this team has some deficiencies. They do. Defensively, they're going to be good to go. But on the offensive end, they've got some issues. Michigan.
Okay.
Now, remember, their entire offense almost is gone. The only guy really coming back was Wilton Spate that had significant numbers. Ty Johnson is now leading the charge there. He's not a dynamic back by any stretch of the imagination. He was at 2 100-yard games. All their receivers and Jake Butt, their tight end, is gone. They replaced all of that. So they're playing young guys. They got a true freshman that's leading them in receptions right now. So I think that gives us a little edge defensively.
Yeah.
Especially their offensive line still having struggles. I mean, we're not going to play another line like Oklahoma. I don't think there's a question they're the best line in the country.
Let me ask you this. Is this the first season with all the Harbaugh's guys?
No. There's still some holdovers. I mean, this is his third year.
It's third. Okay.
This is his third year.
So probably a little,
guys.
probably over 50%.
Yeah,
probably
they're starting to
all
get
his
those
guys.
Remember last year?
That makes a difference. Would you agree?
47 seniors last year on that football team. If that wasn't the year, right, 47 seniors.
Wow.
That was their year.
Right.
And so now you replace all that. Now the pressure is off. There's still very good defense. A lot of his guys are playing. Rashawn Gary, kid out of New Jersey, was the #1 overall guy coming out 2 years ago.
Okay.
He's a monster in the middle. Maurice Hurst, defensive end, he's been there for a while. He's a senior. He was inherited by the staff. Arguably maybe the best, one of the better pass rushers in the country. I mean, so they've got some guys that can play on a defensive end, but they're replacing a lot on offense. And Wilton Spate was getting booed in their stadium last weekend.
Wow. All right, let me ask you this. We got like 2 minutes left. Talk about the next step with Ohio State and Urban and this offensive coordinator. People are calling for JT Barrett's head, all the, and then they're talking about, it's the offensive coordinator. Is Urban too hands on? Does he need to? Is he micromanaging? Speak one JT and then the offensive coordinator.
Well, first off, all great head coaches micromanage. Don't you think? You think Nick Saban is just letting his coaches do whatever they want? No, because it's their record that's on the line. So if you can't deal with that, then that's on you. Now, here might be the challenge. We've got 2 former head coaches as coordinators. All right, chemistry could be an issue. You could have a bunch of Buck and Rams in there. That could be a problem. But I would say this first. Just take a deep breath, Buckeye Nation. Relax. Okay. It's one game. Okay. And it's a really good team. Okay. Oklahoma played their very best game they could play. That's as good as they can play.
Will Oklahoma lose another game?
No. There's only one team that may have a chance to beat them, and that's Oklahoma State, and I don't think they'll get it done. We'll see Oklahoma again, first round of the playoff. You mark it here.
Okay.
So we just got to relax a little bit. I mean, listen, I get it. JT Barrett would love to have some throws back, but you know what? Colliers needs to catch the post over the top. Maybe it's a different game. Week 1, right? He dropped another dime over the top. Maybe that's a different game. So receivers have to do their job too.
Right.
And you just can't throw away the experience that you have in this guy over one game.
No.
Now, if he goes out against Army and he doesn't look good, that's different. But he did throw for 300 yards and was responsible for 4 touchdowns week 1 against Indiana. And they looked great in the second half.
JT Barrett goes out against Army and throws 2 interceptions in the first quarter.
Then that's different.
Do you pull him?
I think you do. But JT Barrett doesn't throw interceptions. And that's part of the problem. He doesn't pull the trigger. Now, if he throws 2 interceptions, but he's got 150 yards passing, you don't pull him because now he's pulling the trigger and you got to let him work through it.
Yep.
But if he throws 2 interceptions and we got 60 yards passing, you got to go to the next guy.
Will Ohio State J.K. Dobbins, real quick. Tell me about him. What do you think about him?
He's special.
Should he start over Weber?
Well, he's starting over Weber because Weber's not 100%. You pulled a hamstring before.
Yeah.
You know what that's like. There's only one thing to help a hamstring. Time.
Rest.
I don't think we should be playing Mike Weber right now.
Okay.
He came back for Oklahoma.
We don't need him right now.
Came back for Oklahoma because it was a big game. He only had 3 carries before he tweaked it. Let him rest. Folks, Mike Weber. Again. Yeah. Mike Weber's a monster. He's going to have a monster year when he's healthy.
Yeah.
And JK is going to be a great compliment to him.
That's good.
But they're both going to play. They'll both get numbers. You got to have at least 30 carries a game, though. J.K. Dobbins had 13 touches against Oklahoma. That's not enough.
Yeah.
Mike Weber had 3. 16 together. It's not good enough.
Will Ohio State play in the national championship game?
I don't know that yet. I think it's too early for that.
Will they make it to the playoffs?
Yes, they will make it to the playoffs.
With other 3 teams, real quick.
Oklahoma is definitely going to be there.
Okay.
The winner of this
10 seconds.
The winner of this weekend's game between Louisville and Clemson will be there.
Okay.
And then Alabama will be there.
All right. Hey, folks, thank you so much. Thanks, Stan Jackson, for being on Real Estate Stocks and Jocks. Have a great, great weekend. I'll see you next week. Bye now.